What's up, YouTube? Georgia Silver Hunter back, and today we're going to hunt our typical weekly $1,000 in half dollars. We've got two boxes from Brinks from our local Fifth Third Bank. And as usual, I have opened these at the bank. And just to call it out for you guys, I always do the coin roll just checking for silver. And I've got, if you can see all the way down there, I'll pull one out. I have what appears to be two proof enders, and they look fantastic down here in the bottom rack. So excited to get into these. We might have a little proof dump in here, and they, like I said, those proofs look brand spanking new. So interested to see if maybe those look like they were pulled out, and I'm the first one to get them in circulation. So with that, let's go ahead and jump in to these half dollars. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and do the first 10 rolls together here in case we find anything interesting. And if this is the first time you've ever joined one of my coin roll hunts, we are hunting half dollars, and the main thing we're looking for is silver. Your silver is 1965 to 1970. That would be 40% silver. And then, of course, your 1964 and earlier would be 90% silver. We'll do a total wrap-up at the end if we do find some silver as to its value, but typically speaking, a 90% silver is worth about $10. And a 40% silver somewhere in that 350, 375, 380, somewhere in there. But we'll get the actual value based on today's spot price on screen by the end of the video, assuming we find silver, which our last two boxes we didn't find any. So fingers crossed today we find some. And what I'm doing right now is just called edge hunting. So I'm just looking for that silver that would pop out here just by looking at the edge. Anytime you see that coppery line, you know it's a clad half dollar. Now, what I stopped here to show you is we did find a 2006 Philadelphia. Now, this is known as a NIFC, a NIFC. It stands for not intended for circulation, and those coins are your 1970, 1987, because those were only made for mint and proof sets, and 2002 through 2020, and as I understand it, 2023 will also be an NIFC year. But there's not a ton of value in those, but I do make collection books of those, so I do typically pull them out, and I keep the nice ones. Here in roll number 4, we just found another NIFC. We've got a 2018, that's a Denver. So there's two NIFCs on the box. What else? We're looking for some various mint varieties and errors. There, I've got a document in the description down below that calls out all of those errors that we're looking for. But they're mainly no FGs and double die obverses, and if we find one of those, I'll be sure to bring you in and we'll look at it under the scope so you know what we're looking for and what they're valued at. But I don't want to spend the time talking about them right here simply because we may not find one. So this is roll number, I think, 7. And so far we're looking at just a lot of clad. See here, it's just a 1980, and we'll look at one more here, just a bicentennial. Here is roll number 8. Something else I get asked all the time is how I get these half dollars, and the answer is simple. I get them from the bank. Now, my bank doesn't just carry these. I have a relationship with my bank, and they order them for me. And we're going to stop right here because we just found some 40% silver. So if you've never seen that in a roll, that's what it looks like right there. We've got a gray line and a silver line. We're missing that coppery-looking line like you see here. Let's see what we got. 64s would be 90% silver, which we don't have, and that mint mark would be on the back. But we have a 1966 40% silver here in roll number 9, which we will put on the board. We'll take that all day long. Let's see here. What else? We have something shiny in here. We've got a 2015 NIFC. So first 9 rolls, we're looking at 3 NIFCs and some silver. So anyway, what I was saying is I get these from the bank. I place an order. It usually takes them about a week for them to come in. Well, really 3 or 4 days from when they order, but they only order once a week. So, and that's how I get these. People think I'm rolling these up at home and putting silver in them, which I am not. These legitimately come from the bank to my house, and you guys see me go open each and every roll. That is not something I can do at home, even though I do have crimpers. They do not do this good of a job. So anyway, I'm going to go back through these looking for mint errors and varieties. And what I'll do is the next find, I'll bring you guys in. Like if we find some silver NIFCs, we'll bring you in, we'll talk all about it. Worst case, we'll get to rolls, it looks like 47 and 49, and we'll open those proofs on camera together. All right, we're going to go ahead and film rolls 21 through 25. The last 10 rolls have been a little bit, what's the right word? Not very fruitful. We did find one more NIFC, which I'll show you here in just a second. It was actually kind of a nice one, but I didn't bring in because we've already found so many NIFCs. But we had this really nice 2005 Denver NIFC in really, really gorgeous shape. We'll put that back up there. So here's roll number 22. And this is what the last 10 rolls kind of looked like, except for that one NIFC. That's just an 83 that we'll check for the no FG on the way back through. All right, well, there's another NIFC right there. I'll show it to you. We've got ourselves a 2007 Denver. Right there, another really nice looking NIFC. Let's see here, we have a 2006. We'll put it right there. All right, here's roll number 24. A 2009 and a 2016. So we've got NIFCs galore in this box. There it is. We got a 15 and 18. There's a 16. And there's a 2009 Philly. So let's see here. We'll make some room. Right there. All right. Roll number 25. And don't forget, we've definitely got some proofs down in the bottom rack. So it won't just be these NIFCs. And we might have silver right there. It's kind of green. But it may very well just be like a dirty 71 or 74, because I do see those all the time. And look at that, it's a 71, as expected. Yeah, on this side you can actually see the clad layer, that copper layer. Over here with the green, it looked more silvery. All right, well, let me get through these for varieties and errors, and I'll bring you back in next time we find something. So as you can see, we're up here on roll number 28, and we got 26 and 27 here. The only thing I've pulled since I last brought you in was this 1990 Philadelphia that just looked absolutely stunning. I'm going to check that against my $50 books, but I've stopped you here because I just got the paper rolled back, and you can see it's still intact here. We've got what appears to be some 90% silver in this roll. So we're going to take this off and have a look at it together. It looks like it could be a Benji or a Walker, but I don't really know. It could be foreign for all I know, but let's see. All right, I think it's going to be a 1964 Philadelphia. And it is. We got our 1964. Now, I said Philadelphia because the Denver mint mark would be back here on the back, and just based on that edge, I'll show you the 40% and the 90% side by side. That edge is very, very different between the two different types of silver coins there. So that's how we know that's a 1964, but that's awesome. I love any time I can find me some 90% silver in a box. So I'm going to film rolls 36 through 40 here, and as you can see down here, I have found a ton of NIFCs that I haven't brought you in for, but I think we're up to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 13. We're up to, well, 13 NIFCs in that 1990, plus our silver. And the NIFCs have just been dumping out of these rolls, but we're getting close to these proof enders in the end of the box. And I'm just in case we find more of them here in these last couple of rolls, I want to make sure we see them getting opened on camera. But that doesn't go there. I'm just pulling NIFCs out of this one. So we've got a 2003 Denver right here and a 2016 Philly. And I think we've already got a 2016. We've already got, no, we don't have 2003. I'm just going to put up there. You don't know if you can really see it. But this is what the rolls have kind of been like. Every 2, 3, 4 rolls, we're pulling 1 or 2 NIFCs out of each one. And just to keep the length of the video down, because I know my last one was pretty long. Trying to keep this one short. Let's see here. This is roll number 38. I wish we were finding silver instead of NIFCs right now, but a 90 and a 40 on a box really is not bad at all. All right, well, we're going to get in on these last 5, and I'll show them to you again here real quick. That's going to be roll number 49, definitely a proof. And here is roll number 47. And we've got another proof there. So we'll get into those last 5 here in just a second. All right, well, we're going to do these last 5 rolls together. There is 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. There is our empty box. So we know we got 2 proofs coming. Let's hope there's maybe a little bit of silver or a few more proofs rolled up inside of these last 5 rolls. And looking at that, we've got a 2001 that didn't make the cut. All right, proof ender coming in. See what else we got in this roll, if anything. Super shiny something. I don't know what that's going to be. Probably something like a 21, 22, or 23. It is, in fact, a 2021 Philly. Bicentennial. And there was that ender. Absolutely gorgeous. And we are looking at a 1988 San Francisco proof. And really, really nice condition for it being circulated. I don't know how well that's showing up on camera, but it's absolutely gorgeous. We'll put that right there. There really wasn't anything else in that roll. All right, this is roll number 48. Another super shiny there in the middle. I'm actually kind of shocked that we haven't found more proofs in this box, because typically when that happens, you know, and you get something as an ender, you usually have more of that in the box. So here we got a 2022, not an NIFC. These were released very heavily into circulation, even though they are fairly low mintage. Red Book does not call them NIFCs, but we did get another 2016 Philadelphia. That's 4 of those on the box. Here's our next proof in roll number 49. Let's just show you the proof first. Again, absolutely gorgeous. And we have a 1996. Now you'll notice from the edge that we have that big copper line, which means it is a clad proof, not a silver proof. They do make silver proofs. I think I can't remember what year was the first year in the 90s they did silver. I know 97 had a silver proof set. And I think every year thereafter had one. I just don't know if 97 was the first or they started sooner than that. But another just absolutely gorgeous proof there in roll number 49. There's a 2004. That kind of jumped out at me when I looked down, which we don't have. I'll put that here next to the 3. And here is roll number 50. See if we can get lucky and find anything else here at the end of the box. And we got one shiny. What do we have? Just a 1979. All right, well, I'm going to get back through these, looking for errors and varieties. We'll come back and do a wrap-up of this, which I've kind of talked about it throughout, but in case you skipped ahead, did want to talk about it as a wrap-up of box 1, and then we'll go ahead and get into box number 2. So we had rolls 49 and rolls number 50 already laid out, just based on the last clip, and 49's been sorted through, and I had 2 coins left that I was going through under the scope. I've got a 71D. I was checking for the double die obverse, and you'll see here I've got a 1973D that I was also looking at for the double die obverse. And just really quickly, quick glance at this coin. I mean, I think we're maybe as high as an extra fine on this. Maybe not, but that's where I would probably put it, somewhere between very fine and extra fine. But I do want to show you what I think we have found, or I'm pretty sure we have found. And I'll just leave the image right here for you guys to look at it real quick if you're unsure. But I think we've got ourselves a 1973D double die obverse, and I'm going to walk you through some of the markers, and then we're going to go over to PCGS so you can see what they list as the 1973D. So you'll see that what I have here is exactly what they're going to show. But in the 3 right here, you'll see the double serif in the 3 right there. There's a little line coming between, right there where my fingernail is. And yes, I know it's dirty. But there's a doubling in the serif there. And there's a little bit of a fattening over here on the 3, but that's tough to tell. Really, that serif is the main thing you want to look at. And then, of course, when you get up here into the word trust, it becomes much easier to see this. And if I kind of cast a little bit of a shadow with my finger, some of this stuff will jump out at you. So right here in the R, you see a split in the R. There's a little bit of a split here in the T. The U is extra wide, and there's doubling here and here, and you can see a little bit of another U coming through right here. The S is really, really obvious if you don't see it. I'll point it out, but you've got that second S right here. And of course, you've got the S on top, and the T, you see a double T. One here and one here. Now, this isn't machine doubling or strike doubling because we don't see a big shelf. This is obviously not where the dies have slipped or anything like that, or the planchet moved when being struck. So this is a 1973D double die obverse, and it's only like the second or third one I've ever found. But let me take you over to PCGS so we can look at some of the pictures and see what it would grade out, or not grade out at, but what it would run according to the book value. All right, well, we're over here on the computer on PCGS. I went into the price guide and then drilled into Kennedy half dollars and found the 1973D DDO FS101. Now, this is an image of the MS65 version of this, one that's been graded. And here under the magnifier, it's a little tough to see some of the things that I want to show you, so I've actually already blown this image up on another tab, and we'll get to that in just a second. But if you come down here to grade, you'll see even as low as like I think it's like a VG or a fine 12. It's a fine 12. It's a $15 coin if graded. If we can get up here, kind of the XF40, it's a $22 coin. Again, graded, and this is book value. You may not get this full value. You'd want to go on like eBay or somewhere and see what they're selling for. I would not spend the money to get this graded if I thought it would only go as high as an XF40, because you'd spend about $25, maybe $25 to $35 getting it graded, so it just wouldn't be worth it. Now, if I thought this was like, an MS64, MS65 at $400, that would be well worth getting graded. But as I said, I've got that 1973D DDO from PCGS loaded up here, and we're going to zoom way in on this thing so you can see their MS65. But again, you can see this big double S, and that was really easy to see on my coin. You've got that T here sliding underneath that one. You've got the double serifs right here in the U, as I pointed out on mine. And of course, you've got that big double leg here in the R. And then coming down here on the 3, you can see that little notch in the 3 right there. So this looks just like the coin that is the MS65 version on PCGS. So if you're looking for this 1973D, here's where you can go to find some other pictures to reference. You can also click View More Images, and that will drill in and find other grades of the coin that you can compare yours to see where yours might grade out. So this box turned out to be fantastic, and if you're a new coin roll hunter, these are the kinds of boxes that are going to really keep you into the hobby. And even if you're a longtime coin roll hunter, this was a lot of fun. Even though for you the NIFCs might not be as cool, it's still a lot of fun to pull this many things as finds from your hunt. So I'm going to go through them real quick here, and I may have actually cut a lot of roll openings from this just for time, because we did find some cool stuff to talk about along the way. So I know you didn't see me open each and every one of these, and I apologize for that, but I didn't want this video to be another 30 or 40 minute video. So the really valuable things and the things I'm most excited about here are on the top row. We have that 90% 1964 silver half. We've got the 40% 1966 silver half. We ended on this 1973D double die obverse, which again, I think is probably in that extra fine, maybe a little under that range. So this is probably, if I were to sell it, somewhere in that $10 to $15 range if I could find a buyer, maybe a little bit more. Love proofs, and I typically do not find proofs as blingin' as these two, and we had an 88 and a 96 San Francisco, and they just looked absolutely fantastic. I'm shocked we didn't have more proofs in the box, considering those were enders. This is a upgrade for one of my 2 books. I'm not going to show you punching that down in here because they're books I actually made for my kids. But that is going to be an upgrade. And then when it comes to the NIFCs, we had an 03 Philly in Denver, we had an 04 Denver, 05 Philly in Denver, 06 Philly. This actually should have been somewhere else. We had an 07 Denver, a 2009 Philly, a 2012 Philly, 2014, 2015 Philly. We had 3 2016 Phillies, a 2016 Denver, 18 Denver, and 2 2019 Denvers. So this is a ton of finds. It's more than a complete roll of the box that we have pulled. I'm going to go back through and see which ones of these might upgrade the latest set of NIFC books that I'm going to have available in my website at gacoinsandcollectibles.com. Anything that's not going to be a book filler or an upgrade will get tossed back and put into circulation for you guys to find, because I don't hang on to these other than when I'm creating books. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get into box number 2 and just hope it can hold a candle to box number 1. Well, here we are with box number 2. I've gone ahead and already opened it. I think this might be a worn proof because it kind of has a little bit of a mirror finish, but perhaps not. I'll make sure I bring you in for this roll. But in the interest of time, I'm just going to open these first 5 rolls on camera, and then I will only bring you in for big finds like errors, varieties, or silver, and if we happen to find a proof along the way. So this second box should go a little bit faster than box number 1. There we got a 2015 in roll number 10, and it is a Denver. All right, well, I'm going to go off camera. I'll bring you guys in at our next find, or our next serious find. It may be all the way at the end of the box. We'll see. So we're getting into roll 19. Obviously, we've got about whatever this is, 8 or 9 of them rolled out. And I just opened this one, and we got something that's definitely not a U.S. coin rolled up in this little roll of $50 here. Let's check it out. I'm sure it's a foreign. Let's see here. What is that? Helvetia? 2 francs from 2007. Interesting. Well, sorry about that. My camera went a little nuts on me, but since it was going nuts, I took the time to look this coin up on Numista. And it is, in fact, a 2 franc from 2007. It is a Swedish coin weighing in at 8.8 grams, and it is 75% copper and 25% nickel. So I do hang on to all the foreigns that I find in my hunt, and this is actually a pretty decent little source of copper. So it'll go on the board as a find, and we're going to keep on hunting. So we're getting into roll number 28. I've actually already got the paper off, and I told you at the beginning of the box I thought we had a proof ender, but I wasn't sure. So I've already gotten the paper off of this one and looked, but this is what it looked like in the paper, and you can see we've got a little bit of mirror finish there. And sure enough, when we flip it over, we got ourselves a 1981 San Francisco clad proof. So that is proof in 2 boxes. Of course, we still have our NIFC list piling up over here. I know I don't have them laid out like I normally do, but I'm trying to get through this box a little bit faster, and we'll go through all those finds at the end. We just got into roll number 41, and I have the paper back, and I did go ahead and pull this one out just to make sure it was what I thought it was, but this big, thick orange edge made me believe it was a proof, and sure enough, it is. You can tell just by looking at the reverse. Again, we got that super mirror finish, and we've got ourselves a 1978. You can see that S for San Francisco mint mark. The proof's got those frosted details and mirrored background, so another really cool find in this box. Well, that brings us to the end of box number 2. As you can see here, we've got our empty box, and we have our finds laid out in front of us. And if you missed the wrap up for box number 1 because you just fast forwarded to the end, I would make sure you rewind, because box number 1 had much nicer finds than this one, but this one didn't necessarily disappoint, and just sheer number of things that weren't supposed to be in the rolls. First up, we have this 2 franc from 2007. It's a Switzerland coin. It is 75% copper, and at 8.8 grams, that's a decent amount of copper, so I'll hang on to that. Of course, we had our 2 San Francisco proofs, a 78 and an 81. They are clad. They are fairly worn, so not a lot of value there. This 81, if you're curious, there is a Type 1 and Type 2. This is the Type 1. It's the regular S, not the clear S. As for the top row, it's all Philadelphia's. The bottom row, all Denver's, but we had a couple of 2004s, a couple of 2006s, a couple of 2012s, a 2015, a 2016, and a 2017. I'll be sorting through these along with the NIFCs we found in box number 1, and we'll be using those to upgrade our books or continue to fill out books of NIFCs that'll be available at gacoinsandcollectibles.com. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop one down below. Leave me a comment while you're down there. Click on that like button and be sure to share this video if you really did enjoy it. Put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, share it on your YouTube page if you have one. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy coin roll hunts, I do a whole lot of them, so make sure you click on that subscribe button, then click on that little bell and select all so you get notified each and every time I release a new video. Special shout out to all my channel members. I really appreciate the support you guys give me each and every month. It really helps out. And it looks like I did pick up one new subscriber or one new channel member here in the last day or two. So thank you so much. I'll make sure your name ends up on the shout out slide. With that said, I did pick up some quarters this weekend. I also picked up some pennies. So I'm right now, as you're probably watching this, I'm in the middle of hunting all that. And hopefully we'll have those videos out early next week. So with that said, you guys take care. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.